No, 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 no. No, 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 no. My name is Ann. Did you buy that? I wasn't suffering. But you know that's what our ego does to us. Our ego creates a state of urgency and emergency, just like the one that I was portraying. My life purpose has been about sharing the written and spoken word to inspire and to uplift. And what I found out was that there had to back up because people were suffering about stuff that didn't really matter at all, that we create these illusory pain states. And what happens when we create these pain states is that when there are two things that create that. One is that we just make up stuff because we think that suffering is honorable, and the other is that we create pain and suffering when we stop growing, when we just stop in our tracks, we don't have an open mind, and we stay static because consciousness flows. We can't have the same beliefs, do the same things, and not suffer, because consciousness is a dynamism that moves. And so we have to grow, expand, change what we do, think, and see, or we get static. And then as we become motionless, we are in pain. As I've mentioned before in some of our videos, the name for God, YHVH, or Lord, in the Old Testament really is not a noun, it's a verb. And it means the happening that's happening to all that's happening. And that basically means that there is a dynamic force. God is not a noun. God is a dynamic, moving force. And if we are not moving in consciousness and thought, then we are not in the flow of what is our very source, what is the very being. We feel disconnected, we feel sad, we feel scared, we feel all of these things. So we have to have this movement. And movement, the way it shows up in consciousness, is growth. And that growth can be a growth from an old idea or a limited idea to a more expanded idea. I find it very helpful in the morning, for example, to do, maybe you could call it a devotional, where I get a sacred literature. And it's sacred to me. It's not necessarily that big of a deal. I mean, it's not the Bhagavad Gita or the Bible or the Course in Miracles. It's very possibly a magazine. I love the Quest Journal, the Theosophical Society Quest Journal. To me, it is like a Bible. It is just so filled with energy or Shakti. It's filled with movement. And so when I read that and it expands my mind, then I move too. And that's why it's important not to stay with the same thoughts, beliefs, and ideas. Don't get in your political stuff and just read the stuff that's parroted over and over again by your party. It takes a position and then just go with that. That doesn't do anything but bring us pain. Move into some freshness, some fresh new words, ideas. I mean, read Viktor Frankl. I'm talking about life having meaning, or read a sacred text from a culture that you're not even familiar with. Read Hafiz, read Rumi, the poet, whatever it takes to get consciousness moving, because without that, if you're suffering, if I'm suffering, then I know that we're stuck. We are stuck in our own miasma of our own making. We're in a mess of our own making because we have not allowed our thoughts to move. And there's so many ways. One of the popular things right now is Marie Kondo. You've probably heard of her, and she does, I think it's Kondo instead of Conde, but Marie Kondo talks about decluttering. But if you read her stuff, it's not just about getting rid of stuff. If it was just about getting rid of stuff, it wouldn't be as popular. But what she really does is characterize the spiritual essence of having things in order, of having a relationship to things. What she says that you should ask before you keep something is to hold it and say, do I really love it? Does it bring me joy? See, that's a sacred relationship between us and the thing. If it's not precious to us, or we're not using it, then we need to pass it on. And that's a spiritual act. That's not an act of just getting rid of stuff. That is a spiritual act that moves our energy. Just a few thoughts for us to think about. I do want to remind you of one thing that you may have heard me say before, and that is, for sure, that I love you. Please make your life easy, or at least easier. That's the 8-word miracle mantra. My life can be easy, or at least easier.